Operations are expected to resume as normal today at Bellarmine's campus after a bomb threat was found not credible. Metro Police gave the all clear last night, but earlier in the day, a spokesperson for the school said they received an email threat about explosive materials at the library and the university's dining hall. Now, those facilities were already closed for the evening, but police were called in around 8 as a precaution. The LMPD says officers did a sweep of the buildings and found nothing, but the investigation into the threat is ongoing. And in a separate incident, a Bellarmine employee is now on leave for social media posts making light of the attempt on Donald Trump's life. The university spokesperson says John James, who's an instructor at the school, was placed on immediate unpaid leave for a, quote, offensive and unacceptable social media post. A statement from Bellarmine posted to social media says, in part, words and actions that condone violence are unacceptable and contrary to our values, which call for respecting the intrinsic value and dignity of every individual.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 45th President of the United States and soon to be the 47th President of the United States, please welcome Donald J. Trump.
A big reception for former President Trump at the Republican National Convention last night, where he became the party's official presidential nominee. This, of course, his first public appearance since Saturday's attempt on his life. Now, Trump also named his running mate, former Trump critic, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. ABC's Perry Russa reports from Milwaukee.
Donald J. Trump. Former President Trump's first public appearance since the assassination attempt days ago.
The man is tough.
Trump walking into the Republican National Convention Monday night, now the party's official nominee, a bandage covering his right ear. By his side, his newly named running mate, Ohio Senator J.D. Vance.
He knows what it's like to live in poverty, forgotten by Washington politicians.
The 39-year-old former Marine and venture capitalist rose to national fame with his memoir, Hillbilly Elegy. Vance was once a Trump critic, calling him America's Hitler.
I don't hide from that. I was certainly skeptical of Donald Trump in 2016, but President Trump was a great president, and he changed my mind. I think he changed the minds of a lot of Americans.
President Biden on Vance's nomination.
He's a clone of Trump on the issues. A clone of Trump on the issues.
Last weekend's assassination attempt becoming a rallying cry for Republicans.
On Saturday, the devil came to Pennsylvania holding a rifle, but an American lion got back up on his feet and he roared!
Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas says an independent review of Saturday's shooting will start in days. ABC's Pierre Thomas with an exclusive interview with Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle.
Who is most responsible for this happening?
What I would say is that the Secret Service is responsible for the protection of the former president.
So the buck stops with you?
The buck stops with me.
You plan to stay on, absolutely.
I do plan to stay on.
Sources confirm the shooter bought hundreds of rounds of ammunition in the days and weeks ahead of the attack. And sources say on the day of the attack, he told his father he was going to the shooting range, and that's how he got that gun. Perry Russum, ABC News, Milwaukee.
And more now on Trump's vice presidential pick, J.D. Vance. The Ohio senator grew up in both eastern Kentucky and Middletown, Ohio, but he's only been in the Senate since 2023. So we talked to local advocates on both sides of the aisle about the choice.
There's a lot of mutual respect. I think J.D. Vance also brings folks into the party that perhaps may not have been, a original Trump supporter, and they'll see the dynamic duo come together.
This is an individual that buys into MAGA extremism. This is someone that has not voiced his complete support for Social Security, for Medicare, for the Affordable Care Act, for vital infrastructure improvements that have really helped the rural areas that he supposes himself to be from.
Every single one.
At 39, Vance would be the youngest vice president since Richard Nixon, if elected. We'll likely hear from Vance this week in Milwaukee. ABC News will have live coverage of the Republican National Convention every night starting at 10, right before the WHAS 11 night team. We'll also be carrying coverage on WHAS11.com and our WHAS 11 Plus channel starting at 8. 6 minutes after the hour, and more local news for you. JCPS Superintendent Dr. Marty Polio hopes the district can restore transportation to 6 or 7 magnet schools with the help of TARC drivers. He offered that information during the first meeting of the new JCPS task force. The task force consists of 13 Democratic and Republican lawmakers, teachers, and parents. Superintendent Polio talked about the district's challenges, which include staffing and missed instructional time. He hopes the new transportation plan will recover some of the time lost.
One of the toughest of my career, without a doubt, but committed to making sure kids are in school for every single minute of the day.
Dr. Polio also highlighted the district's successes, like increased graduation rates. The task force will meet once again on July 29th. And today, Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg will announce a new partnership with Delta Dental. A representative from the Office of Sustainability will be present, along with a spokesperson for Beyond Plastics. Now, it was just a few weeks ago that the mayor's office announced Plastic Free July, which is an initiative aimed at cutting down on plastic waste. We'll hear from the mayor at 10 o'clock this morning.